Kristine, you know, we've been mentioning Mr. Ron a lot. Some people don't know who Mr. Ron is, but this is Ron Lewis, and he was over our Changed program several years back and had such a heart for people. He's the one who inspired us to name the transitional home Ron's house, because Ron would go and find people who were struggling and bring them into his own home and help them out. He's in heaven now.
Yes, he is.
Dancing, having a good time. So, but now we have Kristine Berry, praise God. So, you know, we see Kristine and K&C Hair Salon, and I know a lot of you guys don't realize it, but Kristine was homeless when she was a teenager.
Yes, she was.
And she has amazing stories.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But we're just going to take a couple of those this morning. So Kristine, you want to go ahead and start telling us about when you were growing up and kind of out there on your own?
Okay, I completed the 10th grade. I ended up pregnant at 17 on the street, homeless. Went from there to, of course, I had to find a job because I didn't have anywhere to live. I had to find somewhere to go. So I worked 2 jobs, to be inside when it's cold in the daytime and cold at night because it was winter time.
You got kicked out of your house?
Yeah, my mom put me out. A lot of times teenagers also believe that when you hit a certain age, I'm grown. And that is not true. You're not grown. You're still not grown when you're 56 years old. You're still learning. And be thankful, you know, but a lot of times they're grown. And if you don't follow the rules at home, you get put out. And so I was put out. I didn't ask to go back. I could have, but I didn't because I was going to do this. And slept in abandoned houses. I slept in abandoned hotels or motels that were run down. Like I said, we got a day job and a night job. It was freezing cold in Arkansas in the winter.
And you were pregnant?
Yes, I was pregnant. Yes, I was pregnant. And I knew that I had a baby coming. I needed a place. So I did that work. Saved my money, I guess about 4.5 to 5 months, was able to get a duplex. And it went from there, ended up having the baby and all that good stuff, which is wonderful. But then I found myself like in bad relationships. You know, I just didn't have anyone to look up to for relationships. My mom wasn't married at the time, but the one she had wasn't good. And he used to beat her a lot, so I told myself I would never get with anybody who beat me, but I did get with somebody who did. So that ended. We ended up getting married. We started going to a church. The church said, well, if you're going to shack and have babies, you need to get married. We got married. I didn't want to, but my heart wasn't in it, but I did it. The lady there in church, one of them bought me a dress, one of them bought the shoes. Everybody was there, so you can't say, I'm not going to do this, because then you feel like you just hurt them, you know? So I went ahead and went with the marriage. It ended up being abusive, because he started that after then. Our marriage lasted 8 months. So I left there, got in another relationship. I ended up being the one who was abusive. So I abused the man I was with. So I ended up out of that relationship because he got tired of me hitting on him. And so I don't want it either, but it happens because you think this is what you're supposed to do. You've seen it growing up, you think this is how the marriage is supposed to be. If you live through it, hey, you did good. If you survive, you're strong, you know? And that's not what it is. It's the love, and I didn't know about love. So, and I didn't know about teamwork. It was that, and then I ended up having 3 children by the time I was 20. So then it's about taking control and having your responsibilities, whether a man was there or not. These are always going to be your children. So I always took care of my kids regardless. But then as they got older and they had their mindset, like I did when I was a teenager, I ended up abusing them to an extent, because then I'm beating them down because you're not going to tell me anything. And so it ended up being from there on. Then I ended up getting married, another abusive situation.
That seems a little ghetto in there. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's got some wild stuff. So how many relationships did you get?
I had 4 divorces in my 5th marriage, and
Then this is the best.
this mainly because actually I moved here.
Okay.
And I moved here, you know, you take your boxes and your suitcases with you, but when you're unpacking, you still have all this garbage from what you know, that you brought with you from Arkansas.
Right.
Well, I ended up coming to Global Impact Ministries, and I can literally, honestly say, Global has made an impact in my life because I started unpacking stuff out of my life and leaving it alone and not putting it back in my home. Not putting it back in my life. Doing what God has for me to do.
Man, that's so good.
And it just, you guys have impacted me so much. Like, you know, I don't know where, what, how, anything if it wasn't for you guys.
Oh,
I don't know. And then also the increases that have been coming by keeping God in my life. I have first, you know,
Beautiful.
the business, my wonderful marriage, beautiful home. Everything has just been flowing because I keep God first. And it also has to do with serving God. You don't just come in here and just sit and get the word. You have to apply it.
Come on now.
You have to be used where needed. I've experienced homeless, so I help the homeless. I experienced living on the street, so I help the homeless. I've experienced having a hard time paying bills, so I help in that department as far as helping people with rent, utilities, because I had state assistance for 6 years when my kids were, when I was 20, up to 26 years old. They helped me with my rent. The state helped me with food. So now when I was able to go to school for doing hair, I worked 2 jobs and went to school, no car, walked to all these places, met friends. They would actually ask me, did I need a ride? You can do it. You just keep God, and God just is God. God does everything for you. And then I came to Global, and I was doing hair here, PC, and the ministry's like, go get your own business. Quit working for people. Get your own business. So I stepped out and believed, and God is blessed it. And if you listen to God when He says go left, go right, He took me to the salon, and I never ever drove on that street before. Took me to the salon. It says salon for rent in the window. I mean, it was God. You just keep.
And you can really do a government soon.
I am.
And that being a key thing is that, you know, you may have come from that life, but now you're helping other people. And that's one of the things that Global Impact, you guys probably know her, is to, she's the one that helps with the rent assistance, the utilities and stuff like that. And a lot of people I know, when they go back there, they think you've never dealt with any of that.
Exactly.
But they know exactly what they're dealing with.
And like this, yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, but yeah, they think that I've never, ever experienced, and I'm like, I know God made a way for me.
That's right.
God's making a way for you.
Yes.
But they have to apply it their faith, and believe. Keep getting the word. You have to get the word. If you don't have the word in you, you're going to think you're a lost cause and there is nothing there for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Give Kristine a hand. Amen.